Hello and welcome to traders and investors, and I'm glad to present you the daily market review prepared by analysts and experts from fx.co portal. Here we go. And we're starting with EURUSD currency pair. Jakub Novak presents. You could plan to buy the euro today at the entry point around 1.1545. With target at 1.1586. You could plan to exit the market at 1586 and open a sell position in the opposite direction, aiming for a 30-35 pip reversal. This setup assumes continued upward momentum in the first half of the day. Before buying, ensure that the MACD line is above the zero line and starting to rise from it. You could also plan to buy the euro today if there are two consecutive tests of 1.1501, when the MACD indicator is in oversold zone. This will limit the pair's downside potential and lead to an upward reversal. A rise toward the opposite levels 1.1545 and 1586 can be expected. You could plan to sell the euro after reaching the 1.1501 level. The target will be 1.1465, at which point you will exit the market and open a buy position in the opposite direction, expecting a 20-25 pip bounce from that level. However, downward pressure on the pair is unlikely to return today. Before selling, make sure that the MACD indicator is below the zero line and starting to decline. You could also plan to sell the euro today if the 1.1545 level is tested twice in a row while the MACD indicator is in an overbought zone. This will limit the pair's upside potential and lead to a downward reversal. A drop toward the opposite levels 1.1501 and 1465 can then be expected. And now it's time for GBPUSD. Let's discuss it with Paulo Greco. The average volatility of the GBPUSD over the last 5 trading days is 83 pips. For the GBPUSD pair, this is considered as average. Therefore, on Monday, April 21, we expect movement within the range bounded by 1.3207 and 3373. The long-term regression channel points upward, but a bearish trend remains in the daily time frame. The CCI technical indicator has entered the overbought zone, signaling a potential downward pullback. But the correction appears to have already played out. The GBPUSD pair continues its confident upward trend. We still view the upward movement as a correction on the daily time frame chart, which has become increasingly illogical. However, if you're trading purely on technicals or on Trump, long positions remain valid with targets at 1.3373 and 1.3428 since the price is above the moving average line. It's a sine line on a graphic. Especially considering the pound keeps rising day after day without clear reasons. Sell orders remain attractive, with targets at 1.2207 and 2146, but currently the market isn't even considering buying the dollar, and Trump continues to provoke fresh sell-offs of the US currency. That's all for today. Wish you best of luck.